For all the cool and colorful Tokyo Mater cars that Mattel could have released for 2023, it makes one wonder why they chose to release Ito-san. I mean, one of the most basic looking blue sedans that we've seen time and time again with other cars that share the exact same model and look as him. So I'm not really sure why they picked Ito-san. I know that he is a main character in the Tokyo Mater Cars Toon short, but still, not really adding up here. Anyway, so welcome on back to the Cars Garage, everyone. Hope you're all having a great day. And of course, maybe if you're not, then hopefully this Ito-san review will make it a little bit better. I have been waiting to open up Ito-san ever since I first got him at the Dollarama. Actually, ever since I got four of him at the Dollarama about a month or two ago. No, it wasn't 2 months ago. It was it was late December. Yeah, it was just after Christmas time. And, through early January too is when I found a lot of them. Actually, no, it was early January. What am I saying? I'm getting confused. It's already February, and I just can't believe it. But anyways, yeah, here's the new Ito-san Thailand variant, looking pretty nice. And the other one I gave to my cousin, so that's why you only saw me with three now, of course. But yeah, pretty cool. I know I was joking about Ito-san in the intro to this video. It is a little unfortunate that they chose to release this guy, but I didn't have him beforehand from China, so I guess it's not that bad for me. But for others who already have Ito-san from China, I think it would be a little bit annoying. But that's Mattel for you. Anyways, as seen in Tokyo Mater, this is actually the first single I'm reviewing from Tokyo Mater. Actually, yeah, the first Cars Toon single ever that I'm reviewing, technically, because the other ones were two backs. And it took me a while to get the singles, but I eventually was able to find them all. Here's Patoka, all the Case G singles. I found them all at the Dollarama. Let me get them off to the side. You got Tokyo or Drift Party Mater. So very, very nice. I wouldn't really need him because I got him in the two pack, but picked him up anyways. And I also got Kabuto with his flames as a single from Mr. Doggett. But these guys were the initial ones that they did in Case G. And, well, Ito-san, he never came back for any other cases, so that was it for him. But, he still was abundant. He was not rare or anything like that. And they'll probably re-release him in 2024. I wouldn't doubt it because they are bringing back Tokyo Mater cars. So far, we only know of Komodo coming back, though. But yeah, anyways, there's a Tokyo Mater artwork, just a standard one. Obviously, they didn't give Ito-san his own artwork, unfortunately. But he does look pretty nice in there, I gotta say. And then on the back, Cars Toon. I don't know why they don't put as seen in Cars Toon like they do with the movies and Cars on the Road. I'm not sure. Maybe it's because they put as seen in Tokyo Mater on the front. They just didn't want to use the as seen in text twice. I'm not sure. Kind of weird. But anyways, on the back they only show the Case G singles, so Patoka, Drift Party Mater, and Ito-san. And I think that they're all the same old stock images. Or maybe not, actually. They might be new ones now that I look at them because they look metallic, and that's usually what Thailand does. And yeah, Ito-san has the new expression look just like this diecast of him does. And yes, it is a new expression. Also, I want to point out, love that they use a Tokyo background here. It just looks perfect. Instead of, if they would have just used the regular Red Riders background, that would have sucked. Too bad it is a Cars 2 one, but still, looks cool. But yeah, he does have a new expression, so that's nice. I don't have the Chinese one, unfortunately, to compare to this one today, but I do know that it's a little bit different. Got some added eyelids on the bottom and stuff, and just this, I think this one will end up looking better. But yeah, without any further ado, might as well crack open Ito-san and see how he looks out of the package. Okay, well, here is the man himself, Ito-san. Or is it Ito-san? I really don't know. I've been saying Ito-san because I think that sounds more Japanese, but I really don't know. It could be Ito-san. Yeah, it probably is Ito-san because when you think San Francisco, that kind of makes sense. Anyways, a very cool looking car. I know he's on the basic side, but he is pretty cool just because, I mean, he was the first car released from this model, so if we're going to fault anyone for having this model in the same color, it should be Trent Coto or Jesse Hollander. It shouldn't be Ito-san because he was the first one. He kicked off this model and this color. And I'd say he looks pretty darn cool. I like the little Japanese accents he has near his front fascia, like the whole grill headlight kind of area. It just seems very Japanese to me. The curb feelers and the little mirrors, how they're way, way, way forward. Obviously, they're not in the usual spot, but it looks cool. I really like this guy, and it seems like a really nice Thailand variant from what I saw of the Chinese one. Of course, I don't have it in person, but I gotta say, Trent Croto is pretty much a carbon copy of Ito-san, and he's made in China, so when we do our comparison later on, definitely we'll be comparing him a lot to Trent because they're basically the exact same. Anyways, let's talk about where he appears at in the Tokyo Mater short. Of course, Mater first finds Ito-san, and he's stranded in Radiator Springs, and obviously Mater gives him a tow all the way back to Tokyo, and somehow he manages to tow him through the Pacific Ocean, and then after Mater arrives in Tokyo, obviously Kabuto challenges him to a race, and Ito-san becomes the announcer of that race. And then we even see him later on at the drift party that Mater hosts. So he does appear actually quite a bit throughout the entire short. He's a pretty main character. Obviously, he has a voice actor. And what's funny is his voice actor, named Robert Ito. By the way, the guy is like 92 years old at this point. He's very, very old. Can't believe. Well, how old would he have been then? 13 years ago, about 79, I guess. So, wow, that's still pretty old to be voicing a character. But I mean, I don't know. I don't really feel like Ito-san sounds that old. So he must sound good for his age. I don't know. But I imagine he would sound older now. But it's funny because Robert Ito, his last name, Ito, that's how they got Ito-san's name, of course. They just kind of, you know, used it for his first name. So that's cool. The San or the San, I don't know. The SAN, we'll just go with that. I don't really know how they thought of that. I guess they just made it up because it does sound kind of, Japanese, I guess. Anyways, he does have a plastic eye plate there. They did change the expression quite a bit. Here is what the Chinese one looks like. You can definitely tell they changed it a little bit. They didn't technically add the bottom eyelids. I thought they did, but now that I'm looking at it, technically they only enlarged them basically, like they made them go up higher, and they definitely changed the top eyelids too a little bit, curved them out a little bit more. He just looks less robotic and just better in my opinion. I think he looks really nice now. I like how they put the gray trim around his windshield there, and he's got gray trim really everywhere around his wheel wells, the bottom there, around his windows, his door handles, and even his grill and headlights and everything. I really like the curb feelers that he has, and the mirrors look cool. How they're so like forward like that now. It just looks very, very Japanese to me, which is really cool. And the curb feelers, if you don't know what a curb feeler is, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a curb feeler. It's made for a car to be able to for the driver to feel when they're getting too close to the curb, I guess. So I guess Ito-san would be able to feel that if he's doing a bad parking job or something. So that's cool. And I don't know why, but they always seem to be on Japanese cars. I don't know if it just makes them look like a cool beard or something. I don't know what they're thinking of, but it kind of does almost look like Ito-san's got a beard or something like that to me. Anyways, he no longer has a plastic mouth plate, which is cool. It's all metal now, so that's definitely a win there. And I really like the grill, how it's all like squares inside, and you can actually feel it's texturized, and it's pretty cool. Nice gray trim around everything, rectangular headlights, and the little orange turn signal lights there. The rims, not half bad. This is where we can compare him to Trent because, like I said, he's very similar to the Chinese Ito-san. You can tell that these are the exact same rims Chinese Ito-san has, so that's what they look like, I guess, translated from China to Thailand. I don't know, I don't think they look as great. Kind of like on Fennec Missile, who I just reviewed. They're kind of more flat now, and they don't look as great, but they're fine, I guess. I guess they do the job. They kind of look like bicycle rims, to be honest, though, which is not really a great thing. Makes them look a little cheap. Almost like Matchbox rims, I guess. He is a two-door sedan, though. Don't know what kind of model. It didn't say online. Probably just some fictional model. I don't think he's real. Said he's based off of like a 1990 Honda or Toyota or something. Makes sense because he's from Japan. And I noticed when I was opening him up that he's got this weird, like, paint bubble on his trunk there. Almost looks like a big cyst or something, like it's ready to pop. It's kind of disgusting looking. But I don't know. I wish I would have realized that. I probably would have opened up the other one because, I have three of them that I could have opened, and I chose this one because I thought it was like on the worst packaging, and it wasn't even that bad. But I should have just opened the other one, I guess. I didn't realize it was so damaged back there. Just a defect, not really an error. I don't think. I guess you could think of it as an error though, if you wanted to. And then very rectangular in the back with the taillights there. It's like the taillights just go into gray stuff in the middle, or unless that is a taillight too. I don't know. I think that's just like a piece of gray detail. I don't think that's a headlight in the middle or a taillight. I don't know. Kind of interesting. And unfortunately, you can't really read the license plate at all. I think it says 90210R. I don't know. It's very hard to make out. But let's make some room here. Get out of here, Mater and Ninja. Need some room. We need to do some more comparing. Well, here's Trent. Let me take off this luggage thing he's got. He is the car from the Tokyo airport, so he's got some luggage. And yeah, look at that. Same exact license plate. What a shame. Why would they make it the exact same? That's just sad. But at least we can see, China to Thailand, how much worse it is. Cool color, though. I can't believe it's the same, though. I did know this going into it. It's not my first time finding this out. But it is, I was my first time finding out when I first got Ito-san like a month ago at the Dollarama. I looked at the license plate when he was in the package, and I'm like, what in the heck? And I looked it up. Yep, same as this one. So that sucks. But yeah, I think on the top it says Wheel Creek. Doesn't sound like a Japanese type of name, but I don't know. I guess he's from Wheel Creek, someplace in Japan. I don't know. He probably doesn't even exist, Ito-san, but Trent Coto does, so I guess Wheel Creek has to exist, whether Ito-san does or not. And I mean, you could think of it as Ito-san is Trent Coto. They're the exact same, Mater just made up the name, Ito-san. They do have the same color eyes, too, so I don't know. They're pretty similar. There's another one too, of course, Jesse Hollander, who I don't have unfortunately, but I think there's a few differences with him. He might have different colored eyes or something. I don't think they're green because then that's just a little too similar. But yeah, I don't know. This side's pretty much the exact same. Got all that gray trim. I think it was silver on the Chinese one, so it's kind of a downgrade, but whatever, I guess. Flat rims again, looks like Matchbox tires, unfortunately. But I think he's a pretty cool car. Let's take a look at the base here. S08A is the date stamp there, zooming out a little. And yeah, very flat looking base. I gotta say, there's not like a lot of detail in it, just a couple of lines here and then a couple of boxes and stuff. I don't know. I don't know anything about the base of a car, what any of that stuff is. This looks like the tailpipe, though, the exhaust sticking out. So that's cool. Too bad about the license plate, though. It's just very blurry. And then, well, it sucks that Trent Coto has the same license plate as him. But I guess you could think of it as maybe he is Trent Coto. Who knows? I mean, I guess it's possible. Anyways, let's do another comparison of the two of them because they are pretty much identical. And I mean, there's not a lot of differences. Oh, he doesn't have that gray. So yeah, that's not a tail light then. I guess it's just gray trim, I guess. I don't know. But it's painted blue on Trent. So that's one difference. I feel like even though Tokyo Mater seems like it could have happened, it might not just be a far-fetched story that Mater created. I think that it's probably one of those shorts that can happen because there's really no evidence that it did happen. Because in the very end of the short, there's always, well, in every Cars Toon short, there's always something that kind of proves that maybe it wasn't just a tall tale, maybe it actually happened. But with Tokyo Mater, we don't really get anything like that. We just get Mater putting on a wooden modified costume, as he says, and yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I just like it's not like Kabuto comes into Radiator Springs and challenges him to another race or anything like that. So I don't know if it actually happened or not, but you never know. Anyways, here's Chuck Manifold from Cars 1. He is pretty similar. Not the exact same, though. Obviously, completely different casting and much smaller, I think, too. Different rims and everything. Yeah, he's not really that similar. Just wanted to show him. Also, kind of similar to Gen Tan Sedan from Cars 3. Similar model, but she's more American looking for sure. It's funny because I just reviewed Revni Grillante, who I also got from the Dollarama, and here he is, by the way. And it's funny, I brought all these cars out to compare because they're all kind of the same model, and now I'm doing it again, but with Ito-san. Kind of funny. Once again, not the exact same. Revni is quite a bit smaller than Ito, but definitely similar. And then this guy's actually pretty similar. Should have shown him first. This is Bob Pulley, a Tokyo taxi cab from Cars 2. He's obviously like a different casting, but his grill and everything, headlights and all that, that all seems to be pretty much the exact same. So they're definitely similar for sure, but different in their own ways as well. And he's got these mirrors that are close to the front as well. He doesn't have the curb feelers though, so I'm really glad that they added those on Ito-san because technically they could put them on Sheriff too, because technically he does have them. They don't look the exact same as Ito's, but he does have some curb feelers. They just never put them on Sheriff, so I don't know why, but they do for Ito-san. Random blue background sedan that appears in a short, but they won't for Sheriff. They remain Radiator Springs Townie for some reason, but I don't know what Mattel's logic is sometimes. Anyways, though, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed my little review of Ito-san. He's a pretty cool car, you know. I like him a lot. Of course, he's just a basic blue sedan. We've gotten a lot before, but he was the one that came first, so we can't fault Ito for that. And he really hasn't been released all that much either. Now that I think of it, like 2010, 2016, and now obviously 2023, maybe 2024 as well. Who knows? He'll probably come back. I wouldn't doubt it because they are bringing more Tokyo Mater cars back for the year, but who knows? Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time right here on the Cars Garage.